Boyfriend's parents said I overreacted after their pitbull almost bit me in the face and made him cut contact with my dad for being angry. So I, 16F, have a boyfriend who is 17, and let's just say that he is very family-oriented, which I don't have a problem with. However, I was raised in the deep south of Georgia, and my parents are very conservative and led the house with a heavy hand. They taught me independence, so I wouldn't really need to see them as much when I'm older. I don't judge my boyfriend as I know he was raised differently than I was. He can't recall the last time he got in trouble, never got his phone taken, and was never spanked. He has a really foreign relationship with his family that I've never seen before, even in other people. I guess they're just really close or something. Anyways, I've had problems with my boyfriend before, emotionally and sexually. He doesn't show much emotion when I'm upset, and one time I think he tried to penetrate me without me knowing / getting my consent. But he's a great dude now. My parents, on the other hand, have a bit of a harder time liking him since he's so different. I don't know if this is normal, but I pay for food for both of us and myself almost every single time we go out to eat, and I pay for his gas money to come see me. I live 45 minutes away from him. We've been dating for 8 months, and they have this pit bull who is about 3 to 4 years old and has been in a tiny metal fence enclosure for his entire life. He is unsocialized, never interacted with another person or animal except my boyfriend and his family. I should mention, the last time this dog escaped his cage, it slaughtered their pet cat. They just now decided it would be a great idea to make him an inside dog. When I heard this, I was instantly wary. However, on Friday, I decided to sleep over. They had the dog locked up in the bathroom and then decided to let them out while I was chilling in my boyfriend's room. The pit bull instantly beelined to where I was, on my boyfriend's bed in his room, and jumped on the bed. It began sniffing me and I was very scared, and then out of nowhere it started growling and lunged in my face and started snarling and barking. I put my elbow over my face because I just knew that thing was going to bite me. My boyfriend pulled the dog off of me, but he grabbed it so gently that he allowed it to escape his grasp and jump back on the bed, thankfully before it could reach me again. He then put the dog outside and just stared at me. I started crying because this was a very traumatic moment, and he didn't even try to comfort me. He laid down and I put my head on his shoulder while crying. After this, I sat in silence and he said, "Let me guess, you're never going to come here again after this, are you?" In a very agitated tone. I said I wanted to go home because I didn't feel safe, and he got angry. I ended up calling my grandpa because my dad would have lost his mind if I told him what happened. As I was leaving, his parents thought it would be a great idea to take the dog out on a leash as I was walking to my grandpa's car. I heard them laughing and giggling as the dog barked and lunged at me, and I was forced to run to the car because I was scared. They did not apologize to me. This turned into a big situation over a few days where I wanted an apology, and they refused to give it. My boyfriend eventually told his dad how upset I was and asked him to apologize. He messaged me on Facebook and basically said that I was being dramatic and that if his dog was actually aggressive then he'd be outside. He thought I was lying about the dog almost biting me. And then I guess my boyfriend told them that my dad was mad, so they made him cut contact with my dad, which is insane because my dad has a right to be mad. And they used that moment as an opportunity to take a dig at me. They told my boyfriend that they always thought I was weird and they didn't like how I never talked or ate his mom's food when we cooked. I have severe social anxiety and I take meds that make me nauseous when I eat. And then his mom called me a gold digger and said our relationship was one-sided. Mind you, this fucker had never paid for not one of my meals minus our first date, and I give him gas money for when he comes to see me. I literally pay for his food sometimes too, so what she's on about anyways. After this, my boyfriend's dad told him that he didn't care what happens between us, because apparently he can't own up to being an irresponsible dog owner. And he said I blew everything out of proportion and that it really wasn't that deep. My boyfriend's mom has also never liked me or made an effort to speak to me. I just feel like I need someone to tell me if I'm being an asshole or whatever. There is so much other stuff that happened along with this, but it's way too much to explain. I just need to know. Edit. I should mention that his mom has never made an effort to speak to me and acts like she doesn't like me and that she's better than me. I think she thinks that her son can do better or some. Classic boy mom SMH. Also, his dad is a well-known and well-liked guy, so obviously him being a giant asshole and aggressive took me by surprise. I guess you never know how people really are until you actually get to know them. Oh, and his mom also called my 2 purebred working dogs ugly. Keep in mind that this is coming from a person with an aggressive mangy pit bull and a mutt she found on the side of the road. My dogs are champion sired, trained working dogs and have an elite AKC bloodline. They could never compare.